Hello everybody, Flashrabbit here in my single player Let's Play world. Today was talking spawn chunks. What are the spawn chunks? Where are the spawn chunks? And why do we need to know? And Flash, why have you got so many chickens in your house? I have absolutely no idea. I hope to find out during the course of this episode. Stick with me and you could find out too. Okay, so first of all, these chickens. Basically I'm trying to get them to trust me so I can put them in a chicken cooker. I'll just see food. So yeah, I'm gonna make myself a few auto farms, a cow farm, a sheep farm, and a chicken farm, so that I can get some regular food supplies. So that's why these guys are here. I'm just keeping them. In fact, they started out as two, but they're breeding like nobody's business. So I'm just keeping them in here just to keep them safe, so they don't wander away. So I know exactly where they are. Yeah, spawn chunks. The spawn chunks are important. It's really important to know where your world spawn is, especially if you're building auto farms. Your spawn chunks are within a 23 by 23 chunk radius of where you spawned into the world. A chunk is made up of 16 blocks, 16 blocks in each direction. And 23 of those 16 block chunks make your spawn area, your world spawn area. It differs from your regular chunks because as you walk through the world, depending on your render distance, chunks load and unload. So for example, if I travel 128 blocks in one direction, the chunks behind me will start unloading and the chunks in front of me will start to load, just so the game doesn't have too much information to compute. The spawn chunks are always loaded. Wherever you are in the world, they're always loaded, so your farms will keep producing while you're going about your business. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back to the point where I spawned into the world, near that little hole in the wall that we started our journey in, and I'm going to count out 23 blocks in each direction so that I know exactly where I can build my farms. I think I should be alright here actually, because I don't think we've gone more than 23, well in fact I know we haven't gone more than 23 chunks, so I think we're going to be alright, but I'm going to check it anyway, just for the sake of thoroughness. So after recording that last segment, I came back to the laptop to start and do some more, and this happened. The world file somehow has become corrupted. I've absolutely no idea how it's happened. I've tried all the known methods to recover the world, and it's just not happened. So I've had to revert back to a saved version of this world, which was saved some time ago. So the progress that I've made, I've lost. The house wasn't built at the time of this backup. The cave and the second underground mine, the abandoned mine that I found, hasn't been explored. So I'm going to have to do that all again. It's upsetting, it's disappointing, but there's nothing I can do. One thing is for sure though, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to get back to where we were and I'm going to start again. So I'm going to grind off camera, do all the grinding, do all the building, and the next time you see me, everything will be back to the way it was. But sadly, it's in a second world. So it may not be exactly the same is what I'm trying to say, but I will do my best to get it back to something like we were at before the corruption. Thank you for bearing with me. The next time you see me, I'll be stood in front of my house victorious. See you soon. I just thought I'd bring you back and give you an update on where I am with the rebuild. I'm pretty much done actually. It's taken a little longer than I thought it would. It's amazing how much you get through when you're playing Minecraft and how much work you do without even realising. So I've got a few finishing touches to do. For example, the little skylight window there in the attic area. Have you seen what I'm wearing? Yes, a shiny enchanted diamond armor. I've got protection 4 on my chest plate. I've been doing some fishing, so I got a couple of enchanted books from that. I haven't got a fishing rod or an infinity bow yet, but I'll work on it. And I'm pretty sure we'll get one very soon. But because I hadn't explored the abandoned mine in this world, given that the backup was from a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to explore it again. And this time, I made sure I didn't die and I didn't get blown up by a creeper. So I've managed to keep my tools and the armour that I've made with the diamonds, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to turn around. I'm going to show you what I've done. I've completed pretty much inside. I redesigned the staircase. I wasn't particularly happy with the way I'd done it last time. So we've now got an upstairs area. I'm contemplating leaving this roof as it is because I actually quite like the way it comes together inside. It makes that sort of cross shape in the middle, and perhaps putting a flooring up there and having an attic space as well. So we'd actually have 3 floors, or maybe 4 if we go down into the basement. We'd have 4 floors to work with. So it could actually be quite a large area, and the amount of stuff that I collect when I play Minecraft, I need somewhere big to store it. Grab these eggs. Are we going to get any babies? No. Outside, we've got the startings of our animal farms, our basic food farms. We've got these chickens in here, which are going to end up in a chicken cooker at some point. Shh! Don't tell them though. I don't want them to know. I don't want them to run away. So over here we've got the cows and the sheep. I've been breeding them, so they've been having a fantastic time. I've got some carrots, wheat, beetroot, more carrots and pumpkins growing in those little plots there. Up here I've got my nether portal, of course. I've not gone through it yet. No intentions of going through it because, oh good grief, what am I doing? No intentions of going through it because I don't want to explore the nether just yet. I want to get the overworld end, overworld end completed. And once I've done that, then I'll think about going into the nether. There's no rush, I don't think, anyway. I'd done quite a bit of terraforming in the last world. I dug out a lot of this dirt and I'd filled holes where holes needed filling. So I've got to do all that again. I've been out to sea. I'd also found a couple of shipwrecks. There's nothing remarkable in the chests, but you know, they were okay. I noticed that there were some dolphins having a good old play outside in this bay, highlighted the fact that there was something of interest out there in terms of treasure. So I went and had a look and found the 2 shipwrecks, but I can do that again. I've been over to the village over there and I've looted that again. Same deal, just a couple of loaves of bread, really, nothing amazing. Now over here we've got spruce. Over there near the hole in the wall where I started, we've got spruce. We've got birch and oak over there. And there are bees floating about. So we've got bees, we've got a village, we've got 2 abandoned mines. It just doesn't stop giving this seed. I think it's awesome. So I'm going to crack on and get these little bits finished and bring you back, and we'll get on talking about the spawn chunks. So here I am back in front of my rebuilt house. I made a few changes, mainly decorative changes really. The skylight there in the attic area, I've surrounded the window with oak rather than spruce as I did last time, and I put a few canopies over the windows just to add a little bit of depth and a little bit of detail to the build, because otherwise it was quite flat, and flat is boring really, isn't it? So you've got to do what you can. I suppose there'd be really more I could do to it, and I might tinker with it a little later on. But the world is back to the way it was when we started. Yay! Oh my goodness, it's taken much longer than I imagined. I've got chickens floating around everywhere in the house, so I'm going to have to get that chicken cooker done. Shh. I've built a little jetty. I'll turn around and show you. I'd done this before the world was corrupted, but obviously had to do it again. And I quite like it. I quite like the way it creates this little bay separate from the rest of the ocean. I've explored the underground mine pretty much. I found a spider spawner, so there's room for a spider farm at some point. Of course, I've been back over to the village. So yeah, everything's looking good, I think. I've got a few more of these canopies to put over the windows, but oh, just little bits of detail really that just need to be finished. I've just popped some steak in the oven. Actually, chicken's trying to escape. Let me just grab that because that's good. I've got some mutton and I've got some steak. Wonderful. Put these bits away. Keep that. I don't know why I put that away because I want to keep that too. I've done a bit of fishing, so I've got an unbreaking 3 bow and I've got a mending fishing rod, which is brilliant. I can put those away as well. I've got efficiency 3. I've got an efficiency 3 book through fishing, so that's gone on my pickaxe. I've got Smite 1 on my sword. I found that in a chest, a minecart with chest in the second abandoned mine. And did you notice that my armour is all shiny and glowy? Because I've got protection 4 on my chest plate, and by goodness do I need it. So yeah, that was a welcome find from fishing. So what were we talking about? What did I want to say? Spawn chunks, that's right. So spawn chunks, like I said, are a 23 chunk area around your world spawn where you actually popped into the world for the first time. Uh, and within those 23 chunks, everything that you build in there will continue working wherever you are in the world. The only reason it'll stop is if you go out of the dimension, so if you go into the end or if you go into the nether. Although the chunks don't unload, the timer's reset after 15 seconds of you being away. So you wouldn't get any produce whilst you're out of the dimension, but you can get around that. If you set a dispenser up on the other side of a portal, say in the nether, and fire arrows through that portal, that will keep those chunks and those contraptions in those chunks working for you. Now everything works as normal while you're around the world if you build in the spawn chunks. Water will flow, lava will flow, items will drop, items will fall into lava and burn. Items will be moved by water, young villagers or young animals will grow up. So everything works as normal wherever you are in the world. And it differs from your spawn point when we sleep in a bed. I've got my bed upstairs now. When we sleep in a bed, our respawn point is set to that bed. That's different. When you move through the world, depending on your ender distance, like I say, chunks behind you will unload, chunks in front of you will load up. So the game doesn't have too much to work out. So what I want to do now, I want to start concentrating on building food farms, because it's all well and good having sort of patches like this and you've got to do it manually. And it's all well and good having manual food farms, you know, it works, you can do it, it's not a problem. But what I like to do is automate them so that all I need to do is come pick up the finished product. So we build a chicken farm where the chickens are bred and they grow up and meet the demise in lava. I can't really think of a nice way to say that. Same with the cows. The sheep will harvest their wool. We'll get some pigs on the go as well, because pork chops are just as good for you as steak. And I think you're up to date now. Everything's back to normal. Everything's back to where it was before the world corrupted on me. So we can carry on with our Minecraft journey. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I know it was a nightmare. It's very kind of you to to put up with me and indulge me. And give me the pleasure of, well, I say the pleasure, give me the opportunity, we'll say, to do it all again. Um, One of the benefits actually of playing this world again was that I hadn't explored the underground mine, the second underground mine. So I found all the diamonds again, and I made sure this time I wasn't blown up. And I kept the diamonds, and I made armor, and I made tools, and I'm not letting go for anybody. So yeah, so let's crack on with the episode. We've not got a great deal of time now to do anything, but I think I'll just off camera I'll build a food farm, a chicken farm probably, and show you that, and we'll sign off until the next time. So when I said I was going to do a chicken farm, I didn't. I decided to do an AFK fish farm instead. Oh, look at the skelly out there. This is a design by DWARVEN and DWARVEN. It's been around for quite a long time now. It's dead easy. There's no need for a tutorial. You pop a chest down, you point a hopper into the chest, you make sure the little nozzle is pointed into the chest. You put a fence post on top of the hopper by shift clicking and waterlog that fence post. The water flows into the hole behind. You pop an oak block down, a temporary block on top of it, put the trapdoor on the bottom of that temporary block, and a pressure plate on top of the fence post. Now, if you don't want the sound from the note block, you leave the temporary block on top. If not, get rid of it. You don't need it, only to stop the sound, and I'll demonstrate what I mean. So we cast our bobber into the water. When the pressure plate's activated, it lifts up the trapdoor. and we can point our cursor at the note block, which allows us to cast. As long as our right click button is pressed down, we'll just keep casting and casting and casting. And if you've got mending on your fishing rod, fantastic, because you get experience points from fishing and from your catches, which will keep your rod topped up and working for a long time, well, forever actually. And all the goodies just come into this chest here via the hopper, and you collect them when you're done. Now you can download auto fishing mods and auto clickers. I'd recommend caution with downloading anything that's an executable file. You need to make sure that it's from a source that you trust. Don't just download any old thing, because you could end up with viruses on your PC. So it's a dead easy AFK fish farm. I opted for this simply because this episode now has got to around the 15-20 minutes mark, and we really need to call it a day. We'll start afresh from the next episode. We'll carry on. So I think the next episode will be about building food farms and getting our automated food farm sorted. But for now, I think we've done quite enough in this episode. So I'm going to sign off. I'm going to thank you very much for watching and bearing with me. I really do appreciate it. If you've liked the episode, please drop a like. It helps the channel out loads. And if you really like it, consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my content in the future. And if you want to be the first to know when I've uploaded a video, just press the bell icon. And I'd love to see you again in the next episode. But for now, bye.